Happy holidays from Flamenco Explained. Today we're going to look at a Christmas falseta, and it's a Christmas falseta because it's a campanillero. Campanilleros and villancicos are the two things that you will hear around Christmas that you don't really hear any other time of the year. And villancicos are really just Christmas carols, except sung in a flamenco kind of way. So they might be sung por bulería or in tangos or in rumba, and they're usually sort of a family or neighborhood affair where everyone traditionally would get around a fire and sing Christmas carols, villancicos, and the guitar is not usually or traditionally a huge part of that. One of the other Christmas songs that I really love is called the Campanillero, and that's what we're looking at today. And this falseta is a beautiful falseta that I first heard Enrique Melchor play, but I've heard some other people play it as well. I don't know if it's traditional or who wrote it, to be honest. Besides just being beautiful, it's got a couple little things, one in particular that's a great workout for the right hand. And it's not easy for the left hand either. So this could be like a little etude or a little exercise, or your one campanillero falseta that you ever need to have, because I haven't heard most people have a lot of them. It's in 3/4, right? And it's basically a song that's sung. It's in E minor. And the falseta starts with this little phrase. We're leaving the 6th string open and we're barring the 5th and the 4th strings at the 2nd fret. We've got our ring finger, 4th fret of the 4th string, that F sharp, and then the pinky is on the 5th fret of the 4th string, and we basically go back and forth between pinky and ring finger, and it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, and same thing except everything shifts one string up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2. And then our little taka-taka-tim phrase comes in on 3E and a 1. So this is with that D being the downbeat. Now, what's tricky about this in the right hand is that we're doing da 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 da, and then, right? So it's picado for 4 notes, and then AMI arpeggio in the right hand. So we have to switch between, I do M-I-M-I, right? Middle index, ring. You could do I-M-I-M, whichever is more comfortable for you. It doesn't really make a difference. It's all on the same string in this phrase. 3E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and now we land on an A minor chord. Now for the next one it's 3E and a 1 and 2, but the picado goes across 2 strings, 3rd and 2nd. We have da 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 da, right? So because M finger is longer than the I finger, we want to do I on the lower string, M on the higher string, and then A, M, I. Now we go to a G7 chord, or a G chord I should say. Right, now one string again, the 3rd string, and then we have an E minor chord, the ring finger, the A fingers go into the 2nd string. And now we have a B7 chord over F sharp, this like the Alegría chord. And now again between 2 strings, 4th and 3rd, right? 4th fret of the 4th string and open 3rd string. And we go back to that B7. And then and we resolve to the E minor. So let's look at that all again, nice and slow. We have 3 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. And then the whole thing repeats. Before we move on to the very ending of the compás, I want to look at a few little embellishments that we can do. The first phrase doesn't really have an easy embellishment that lends itself to this part. But here, when we play the A minor, we can do this. Or, same notes, but if we keep the chord down and use our pinky to trill, now, E minor, trill the second string, and then here, bit of a reach. Right, so you don't have to do that every time. You can do it the second time instead of the first time. You can do it all the time, or you can leave those little embellishments out altogether. At any rate, when we get to the last phrase, we play a C7, a B7, and then an E minor with a 9. Right? By the 9, I mean this note F sharp. So this is a regular E minor, this is with a 9. If you want to learn how to accompany the actual melody of the Campanillero, just click on this link and that'll take you to an example of a Campanillero that I really love that's very similar to the first one I heard. But I should say the melody's almost always the same. And there's two little tricky things that happen, because otherwise it's basically just a 1-4-5, by which I mean it's an E minor and the main chords are E minor, A minor, B7, E minor, and then occasionally the E7, which pulls you to the A minor. So when we resolve, there's usually a little sort of libre thing that's on this B chord, this B Phrygian, right? And then it resolves to E minor. And then the first thing that happens is a little tricky. It goes da 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 da, C, da 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 da, back to E minor. Then it goes to E7, da 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 da, A minor, na 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 na, E minor, B7, E minor. And then the one other weird thing that it does is the melody goes ba da ba da da. It goes to a G. And then from there, ba-da-da, E minor, E7, A minor, back to E minor, and B, and E minor. And those are all the chords you need to accompany a traditional Campanilleros. And now you also have a nice little falseta that you can use as an intro and anywhere in the middle of the song. I hope you enjoy your Campanilleros. So happy holidays from me and Tara at